A sudden blackout swept across Spain, Portugal, and parts of southern France, crippling metros, stalling airports, and plunging millions into chaos. Was it a cyber attack, an energy oversupply, or just a freak atmospheric glitch? Here's everything we know so far about what could be Europe's biggest power failure in decades. At around 10:30 GMT on Monday, large parts of the Iberian Peninsula went dark. That's 12:30 p.m. local time in Spain and 11:30 a.m. in Portugal. Critical infrastructure was hit hard. Metros stopped running in Madrid, Barcelona, and Lisbon. Madrid, Barajas, and Lisbon's Humberto Delgado airports reported major delays and partial closures. Even parts of southern France and Andorra briefly lost electricity, though service was restored quickly there. In Spain, the blackout impacted major urban centers: Madrid, Murcia, Galicia, Alicante, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Seville, and Avila. Canary and Balearic Islands were not affected. In Portugal, the worst disruption was reported in Lisbon and Porto. The French Basque Country also experienced brief interruptions. Morocco wasn't directly hit, but some internet services were briefly affected due to their network links with France. Traffic lights went dark and public transport froze. Madrid firefighters responded to over 200 elevator rescues. Hospitals switched to backup generators. Petrol stations stopped working. Mobile networks were patchy. The Madrid Open tennis tournament was suspended for safety. Spanish media called it a throwback to the 19th century. In Lisbon, panic buying broke out. People rushed to stock up on water and food. Officials say no foul play is suspected yet. Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro said the problem started in Spain. Portugal's grid operator REN blamed a rare atmospheric phenomenon that caused extreme temperature swings. These swings disrupted very high voltage lines, triggering a domino effect. REN described it as induced atmospheric variation that created grid-wide oscillations. This broke the synchronization of Europe's power network and caused the shutdown. Spanish authorities haven't responded directly to that claim. European Council President Antonio Costa said, "At this point, there are no indications of any cyber attack." Costa, who was Portugal's prime minister till 2024, added that grid operators were working to trace the origin of the fault. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged against speculation but said no cause can be discredited at this point. EU cybersecurity agency ENISA echoed that. They said it was likely a technical fault, not sabotage. However, concerns over solar power surges remain. In recent months, Spain saw record hours of negative electricity prices due to excess solar and wind generation. By late Monday, power had been restored to around 82% of Spain and 80% of Portugal, according to grid operators REE and REN. Production resumed at Portugal's Castelo do Bode hydro plant and Tapada do Oteiro thermal facility. Energy was being gradually restored, starting near the plants and spreading outward. Spain's transportation minister said trains are unlikely to resume fully before Tuesday. Red Electrica estimated a 6 to 10 hour window for full restoration. Spain has declared a state of emergency. Pedro Sanchez promised full power by the end of Tuesday. Spain's National Security Council met urgently on Monday to assess the risks. European Commission VP Teresa Ribera told Radio 5 there is no sign of a deliberate act. REN warned the system might take a full week to stabilize completely. This was Europe's second major blackout in 6 weeks. The last in March shut down Heathrow Airport. Experts are now pushing for better coordination in grid management, especially with the rising share of renewables. A single technical glitch or a warning about the fragility of our future energy networks. As Spain and Portugal recover from this unprecedented blackout, the rest of Europe is watching closely. Do you think we are prepared for the next one? Let us know in the comments.